Hello friends, I hope you all are doing well. I, T.A. Pujan Kapadia, welcome you all on my today's lecture of the subject accountancy and taxation. As you all are very well aware that we had started with the topic of basic concepts of income tax. Today we are on the verge of completion of this particular unit, and today I am actually going to make you learn how to practically calculate the tax liability of an assessee. But before starting with the today's topic, I would just like you to take a recap on all the topics that we have studied till date. So firstly, I had started the session with broad classification of taxes. Broadly, taxes are divided into two types: direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax is something in which the burden cannot be shifted, while indirect tax was something in which the burden can be shifted. Next, we have taken up was the definition of income, under which there were three important words. First was there should be some monetary returns. Second, one should receive it periodically, and third, from a definite source. Then we had taken the definition of assessee. In crux, I have explained you any person who is liable to pay any kind of thing. It may be tax, it may be interest, it may be penalty, anything under Income Tax Act 1961, then he is known as assessee. Then I have explained you what is previous year, that is our current financial year, and what is assessment year, that is the year succeeding or following the current financial year. Then we have taken the technical definition of the same. Then after I started with the topic of person, I have told you there is likely to come a short question of 2 marks or 3 marks out of this particular topic. As a result of which, I have told you to broadly explain and classify all the different categories and take due care and knowledge of all the 8 points which are stated over here. I hope now you are clear with all the points that I have stated in this particular definition. Next, we have taken the definition of dividend. Fine. Dividend, we have basically explained any share of profit which is being passed on to the shareholders is known as dividend. But in the Income Tax Act, it has been further classified into 5 different clauses from A to E, of which we need to take the due care. Then after, an important topic of casual income, under which I have explained you any kind of income which is unforeseen, unexpected, non-recurring, that is like winnings from horse race, winnings from lotteries, card games, gambling, etc. falls under this particular part. Only thing we need to remember over here is the taxability is 30%. Fine. So what I am supposed to remember over here is the taxability of the casual income is going to be 30%. And most important short note of this unit, agricultural income, under which we have classified this income into through 3 broad classes. First was any kind of rent or revenue which is received from the agricultural land in India. Second is any income which is derived from such land through any of this activity like cultivation, processing, or selling. And third was income derived from the building or a farmhouse from the land which is on the land or immediate vicinity of the land, under which I have explained you broadly what is an urban area. And after, we have taken care of 4 examples of agricultural incomes and 4 examples of non-agricultural incomes. At the end of this topic, I have explained you when agricultural income is going to be taxable and when it is going to be exempt, under which you have studied if 2 conditions are satisfied. That is, if agricultural income exceeds rupees 5,000 and at the same time your non-agricultural income exceeds your basic exemption limit, then this income is going to be taxable, or else it is exempt in the section 10 subsection 1. Next topic, we have taken due care of was tax planning, tax avoidance, and tax evasion. The topic which is correct in all the aspects, which is legal as well as ethical, is known as tax planning. Second was tax avoidance. It is legal, law में जो बोला है हम वही कर रहे हैं, but it is unethical, that is not in the right intention. Fine, and it is known as tax avoidance. And last is tax evasion, वो तो है ही पूरा गलत, that is illegal and unethical. And after we have taken care of objectives of tax planning, lastly, I have explained you what is gross total income and what is total income. Adding the income from all the 5 sources gives us gross total income, of which I am deducting all the deductions under section 80C to 80U, as a result of which I am getting resultant total income. This is something that we have covered in this particular unit, and I hope you are very well aware with well-equipped knowledge on all the topics that I have taken care of by now. So now, starting with today's topic, which is the last topic for this particular unit, will say, sir, हमने सब समझ लिया. What is previous year? What is assessment year? What is income? What is tax? Now, the important point that is used in our practical life, how to calculate the tax. That is the major topic that we are going to cover today. I know, suppose my example is 5 lakh rupees. Now, how much tax I am supposed to pay on that particular income is the matter of question. So now, let's take it step by step. The first point that we need to remember over here is we are going to study income tax slabs and rates for financial year or previous year 2019-20. So assessment year will be 2020-21. So please take due care that we are actually studying as of now for financial year 2019-20. That is for the assessment year 2020-21. Now, first thing that I would like to state over here is we are following slab wise income tax system in India. Slab, you can see this word SLABS. So we are following slab wise income tax system. So the income is basically divided into various slabs of income. How we are going to calculate on this same, I'm going to explain that particular part. But if an MCQ comes that what system of income tax is being followed in our country, answer is going to be slab wise income tax system. I hope I'm clear till here. Fine. We are going to take the detail afterwards, but first of all, let me explain 3 different categories of persons. So for the calculation of income tax, entire citizens are classified into 3 different categories. First is general category, second is senior citizens, and third is very senior citizens. What is general category? We are going to take it at the end. Let's talk about first of all, who is a senior citizen as per Income Tax Act 1961. Any person of 60 and above years of age but below the age of 60, 80 years. That is, अगर किसी की भी age 60 years है, that is 60 is also a senior citizen or above, but it should be less than 80 years. That is falling to under the category of senior citizen. Who is a very senior citizen? Whose age is 80 years and above. So please take a due care. If किसी की age 60 completed years है, he is going to fall under the category of senior citizen. But अब किसी की age 80 completed years है, he is going to be a part of very senior citizen. So I hope you are clear. 60 and above कहाँ पे जाएगा? Senior citizen. 80 and above will go to very senior citizen. Residual, that is below 60, is going to be the part of general category. So basically me, you, we all are falling under the category of general category. I hope you are clear with this bifurcation of 3 categories: general, senior and very senior. Fine friends. Okay, now let's start talking about the slabs of income. First of all, let me classify you. There are different slabs which are written over here. First is income up to rupees 2,50,000. Then 2,50,000 1 to 3 lakh. 3 lakh 1 to 5 lakh. 5 lakh 1 to 10 lakh. And last is about 10 lakh. Now, first question that can be asked in form of short question that I already discussed, but I would like to repeat the same. What is the basic exemption limit in India? This can be a question. Fine. So whenever the word comes, what is the basic exemption limit? Basic exemption limit means the amount of income which is not chargeable to income tax. Now if we see when the income tax is applicable, you can see the first percentage I have written over here is 5%, applicable from 2,50,001 rupees. So I can say up to 2,50,000 no tax is applicable in India. As a result of which, what is my basic exemption limit? 2,50,000. So if the question comes, what is the basic exemption limit? Answer is the income limit which is not chargeable to tax. Fine. In India, as of now, for assessment year 2021, it is 2,50,000 rupees. Now the question is specific. What is the basic exemption limit for senior citizen? Fine. Now where is senior citizen? The second category over here. Now let's check. Nil. So the taxes are being commenced at the income limit of 3 lakh 1. So I can say up to 3 lakh rupees, senior citizen is not supposed to pay any kind of tax. As a result of which, for senior citizen, what is the basic exemption limit? 3 lakh rupees. Same for the very senior citizen. Very senior citizens are supposed to pay tax from here, that is from 5 lakh 1. So I can say up to 5 lakh, they are not supposed to pay any kind of tax. In short, you need to remember the amount up to which you are not supposed to pay tax is your basic exemption limit. So for general category, it is going to be 2,50,000. For senior citizens, it is going to be 3 lakh, and from very senior citizen, it is going to be 5 lakh rupees, because up to this amount, they are not supposed to pay any kind of tax. I hope I am clear till here. So, shall we move ahead? Okay. Now let's take category wise. First of all, I like to talk about the general category. So if we are having an example of any person who is below 60 years, fine, and we are supposed to calculate the income of that particular person, how are we going to calculate tax on that income? Let's see to it. Let's take an example. His total income, fine, after deducting all the kind of deductions, his total income, which is liable to income tax, is rupees 11 lakh rupees. Now let's see how we are going to calculate the same. Up to 2,50,000, what is written over here? Nil. So he is not supposed to pay any kind of tax up to the income of rupees 2,50,000. From 2,50,001 to 3 lakh rupees, that is the range of 50,000. कितना tax pay करना है? 5%. From 3 lakh 1 to 5 lakh, कितना tax pay करना है? 5%. In short, how we are supposed to interpret this? How we are supposed to interpret this is, whenever you are having an income, you need to take care in the which slab your income is falling. Now my income is 11 lakhs, so it is going to continue till here, but I need to break it up into different parts. So rather than explaining that in particular slide, I have given you a specific slide along with the examples in the upcoming slides. So as of now, what you guys need to remember till now in this table is, first of all, we are talking about the income tax slab for assessment year 2020-21, right? Second is the 3 categories as per Income Tax Act 1961 on the basis of their age. And the third question was basic exemption limit, that is 2,50,000 for general and in common. Senior citizens के लिए it is 3 lakh rupees, and for very senior citizen it is 5 lakh rupees. Now let's just remember the rate of tax that is applicable as of now. So I can say if my income is up to 2,50,000, not a single category is supposed to pay any kind of tax. So my rate of income tax is 0. Now if I'm having income up to 3 lakh rupees and income up to 5 lakh rupees, so I can say mota mota up to 5 lakh rupees, the rate of tax is 5%. You can see over here it is 5%. Now if your income is falling above 5 lakh but up to 10 lakh rupees, your rate is 20%. And last is, if my income is above 10 lakh rupees, my rate is 30%. So basically friends, you are supposed to remember only 4 kind of rates. First is 0%, that is nil. Second is 5%, that is up to 5 lakh rupees. सबके ऊपर कितना लगेगा? 5%. Up to 10 lakh, it is 20%, and above 10 lakh, it is 30%. I hope I am clear till this particular table. Yes. Now how we are actually going to calculate tax on this particular part, we are going to deal it from the next slides. Okay, fine. Now there are 3 points I have written at the bottom of the table. Let's learn and read the same. First point I have written over is rebate under section 87A. So first of all, just remember the section along with the word. What is the word? Rebate. And what is the section? 87A. If the total income is up to rupees 5 lakh, if my total income as a taxpayer is up to rupees 5 lakh, then I can get rebate up to rupees 12,500. Now let me explain you what is rebate. So first condition for rebate is my total income should be up to 5 lakh rupees. If my total income increases 5 lakh rupees, then I am not going to get the benefit of the rebate. So important point over here is my income should be up to rupees 5 lakh. If my income is up to rupees 5 lakh, then what I am supposed to get the benefit over here is, if suppose my total tax liability is coming to 10,000 rupees and my income is below 5 lakh, then I can take a rebate of the tax liability up to 12,500, which is written over here. Matlab, if I was supposed to pay tax of rupees 10,000, but if my income is below 5 lakh, so what government is telling, आपका पूरा का पूरा tax माफ हो जाएगा. So in short, you are getting benefit of paying 0 tax if your total income is below 5 lakh rupees. So only thing as of now you need to remember over here is, if your total income is up to 5 lakh rupees, you are supposed to get the benefit of rebate. That is, जो भी कुछ आपके ऊपर tax liability आने वाली है, you are going to get the rebate of this, and that is you can minus it from your calculation. How it is going to work practically, we are going to see in the next slides. Okay. Fine. So what you need to remember over here is, rebate is the benefit which is being given to the taxpayer whose total income is up to rupees 5 lakh. Maximum amount of rebate can be up to 12,500 rupees, and it is under section 87A. Fine. Okay. Let's move to the next point. Health and education cess. Now, whenever we are paying income tax, government had made it compulsory that over and above the income tax, you need to pay certain percentage of income tax as cess. Cess is nothing, it is just the additional tax which is being levied in order to do good for the health and education department. At present, what is the amount? It is 4% of income tax. Suppose when I am calculating my total income tax liability and that amount is coming to 20,000. तो मुझे कितना tax pay करना है? 20,000. Now how cess is calculated? 4% of 20,000. So जो भी मेरा income tax का amount आ रहा है, I am going to calculate the percentage on that particular amount. So in our example, my total tax liability was coming to 20,000 rupees. Then I need to calculate 20,000 plus 4% of 20,000. That is 20,000 का 4%. जो भी आएगा, the answer is going to go in education cess. So you need to remember, whenever you are calculating income tax, along with that, you need to compulsorily calculate health and education cess of 4%. Okay. And last part is surcharge. In our India, what the government has done is, if the person is belonging to high income earning category, that is, if he is having his total income greater than 50 lakhs rupees, up to 50 lakhs rupees, there is no surcharge. But if it is greater than 50 lakh rupees, he need to pay separate percentage of income tax as additional tax. You know, they are trying to tax more from the richer category, higher income group people, that is having total income of rupees more than 50 lakhs. If you are falling in this particular category, you need to pay certain additional tax. I have not specifically mentioned the rate over here because it is not a part of your syllabus. If you want to take a look over it also, you can just Google it out and you can easily get the rates of what are the rates of surcharge which are prevalent as of now. In short, I just need to clear out your concepts so that whenever you come across these words, basically it is not a part of your syllabus, but if it comes across anywhere in your life, you can easily deal with the meaning, like what is rebate, what is cess, and what is surcharge. I hope I am clear with all the three parts. Rebate is applicable if your total income is less than 5 lakh rupees. Maximum benefit you can take it up to 12,500. Cess, it is compulsory. Whatever income tax you are going to pay, on that you need to calculate 4% of health and education cess. And surcharge is something if you are belonging to the higher income earning category, that is your total income is greater than 50 lakh rupees, then you are supposed to pay additional tax over and above the rates which are stated in this table. That is known as surcharge. I hope I am clear with this particular slide. I'm just giving you a moment and would like to request you to take a quick overview on all the points that I have explained you in this particular slide so that we can commence with the actual calculation from the next slide. Well, friends, I hope you are clear with all the points that I have explained over here. I would just like to recall the points quickly. First, we are talking about assessment year 2020-21. Three categories: normal, then senior and very senior. 60 and above, but below 80 is going to fall under senior category, and 80 and above are going to fall under very senior category. There are different slab systems, as a result of which we have studied different slabs of income over here. What is basic exemption limit? The amount up to which there is no liability of income tax. In India, as of now, it is 2,50,000. And then we have taken care of three topics, that is rebate, cess, and surcharge. I hope I'm clear with this particular part. Technically, we are done with the syllables which has been given in your book, but just to give you practical exposure, I would just like to take certain sums on how to calculate income tax. So it cannot be asked in your examination basically, but this is just that if you come across in your practical life that how to calculate the tax liability, it would ease you at the time of that practical experience. As a result of which, I have taken 3 examples in which we are going to get your idea like how to calculate the tax. First situation I have given over here is Mr. X, whose age is 50 years. Now, why age is important? Because we have studied there are 3 categories. So I need to understand first of all what is the category I am going to deal with. If his age is 50 years, then he is going to fall under normal category. So we are going to look at the first table. I have taken an example. His total income is rupees 5 lakh. So what is his total income? 5 lakh rupees. Now what I have taught you in the previous table, I have taken an abstract from that particular table that for a general category, this is the slab rate and rate of taxation. Now let's see one by one how to calculate the tax. What is the total income of Mr. X? 5 lakh rupees. So up to 2,50,000, the rate of tax is 0. As a result of which I have written over here, up to first 2,50,000 rupees. What is the tax liability? 0. Then from 2,50,000 went to 3 lakh. So I have written over here from 2.5 lakh to 3 lakh. Total kitna hua? 50,000, right? He needs to pay 5% on this particular range. That is, he need to pay 5% of this 50,000. The 5% of 50,000 is coming to 2,500. Next, from 3 lakh to 5 lakh, what is the liability again? 5%. Now 3 lakh से 5 lakh कितना होगा? 2 lakh rupees. So 2 lakh के ऊपर again he is going to pay 5%. So it is coming to 10,000 rupees. Now what was his income? 5 lakh. We have calculated up to 5 lakh. Answer is yes. So now I want to understand what is his total tax liability. So his total tax liability will be for first 2,50,000 0. From 2,50,000 to 3 lakh 2,500, and from 3 lakh to 5 lakh 10,000. So I have added all the 3 particular tax liability whose total is coming to 12,500. I hope I am clear and now you are understanding. In India, we are following slab system. Slab systems means I am not directly calculating के 5 lakh के बाजू में क्या लिखा है तो direct 5 lakh का 5%. No. What we are doing is we are considering income slab by slab and we are multiplying it with the rate which is mentioned against that particular slab of income. So I hope you are getting how we are calculating the tax liability. So my total tax liability over here is coming to 12,500. Now I explained you the point of rebate. Rebate mein we had studied that if my total income is up to 5 lakh rupees. In this case, what is my total income? 5 lakh, that is up to 5 lakh rupees. Then I can get benefit of rebate under section 87A. How much was the maximum benefit? 12,500. So my liability was 12,500, but I had obtained the benefit of 12,500. So what will be my net tax liability? 1A minus B, that will be 0. As a result of which we need to understand over here, if your total tax liability is up to 12,500, you are not supposed to pay any amount of tax if your total income is up to 5 lakh rupees. This is the basic calculation of taxation that I have explained in this particular slide. Now let's take an example. If my total tax liability would be coming to 10,000, fine. Let's assume that instead of 12,500, my total tax liability would be 10,000. अगर tax liability 10,000 होती तो मैं minus भी कितना करता? 10,000. So it is practical. This is not going to go in negative. So 10,000 would be my liability. I would have got rebate of rupees 10,000. As a result of which my net tax liability will be always 0 if my total income is up to 5 lakh rupees. Now you would say, sir, आपने बोला था जो सेस था वो तो कंपलसरी ऐड करना है 4% of income tax. Answer is yes. It is compulsory to add cess of 4% to your income tax liability. Now what is my liability? 0. अब 0 का 4% करूंगा तो आंसर इज गोइंग टू कम अगेन 0. As a result of which I have not written the same over here. I hope you are totally getting me what I have explained in this particular slide. I'm just giving you a moment and like to request you to take a quick view on this particular example. We are again going to cover 2 more examples after this particular slide. So please take a quick look on this particular slide. Okay friends, I hope you are clear with the points that I have stated over here. Let's move to the next example. Now in this example, we are going to calculate tax liability of Mr. X, whose age is 50 years. So again, he is going to fall under general category. So I have written this liability of the general category. Total income is rupees 8 lakh. So now we are moving a step ahead. Last example, total income was 5 lakh. In this example, it is 8 lakh. So again, the same system we are supposed to follow. Up to 2 lakh 50,000, my liability is 0. So I have written 0. From 2 lakh 50 to 3 lakh, it is 5%. So from 250 to 3, kitna hua? 50,000. So I need to calculate 5% of 50,000. So it is coming to 2,500. Next is 3 lakh to 5 lakh. So I have written over here 3 lakh to 5 lakh. Total gap is 2 lakh rupees. So on that 2 lakh, I am going to calculate 5%, which is coming to 10,000 rupees. So are you getting this slab wise? First, we have calculated the first 2 lakh 50,000, then for next 50,000, then for next 2 lakh, and now his income is 8 lakh. So I need to move a step forward. We had studied from 5 lakh to 10 lakh, it is going to be 20%. But what is his income? It is 8 lakh. So I would say from 5 lakh to 8 lakh, that is up to 3 lakh rupees, I need to calculate 20%, which is coming to 60,000 rupees. So you can see from this table, friends, that his total income of 8 lakh rupees has been classified into different slabs as per the Income Tax Act, which is shown over here, and we have calculated tax liability on the basis of this slab. This is how income tax works. By now, I hope you are totally clear how to calculate slab-wise tax on your particular income. In this case, my income was 8 lakh, so I have stopped over here, that is 5 lakh to 8 lakh. Fine. Now again, the same procedure. What is my total tax liability? I would add all the tax liability from all these slabs, which is coming to 72,500. Now question arises whether rebate is available. We had learned rebate is available only if my total income is up to 5 lakh. In this case, my total income is 8 lakhs, as a result of which no rebate is available. So I have written over here 0, no rebate. So what is my net tax liability? 72,500 minus 0 rebate. So it is coming to 72,500. Now plus I am going to add 4% of cess. So what I am going to do is 72,500 plus uska 4%. The total amount is I am going to pay to the income tax department. In short, whenever you are supposed to pay any amount of income tax, you need to add 4% for cess. I hope I am clear with this example too. Only change over here was first is in last example our total income was 5 lakh. In this, we have added one slab and we had reached to 8 lakh rupees. Second, in last example, it was 5 lakh, so there was a rebate benefit. In this, it is more than 5 lakh, so we are not getting any kind of rebate benefit. And since there is a tax liability, I am going to add my education cess. I hope you are clear with this calculation too. So now let's move to the last example for the day. Let's calculate tax liability of Mr. X, whose age is 70 years. Now see friends, the age is 70 years, as a result of which it is going to be the part of second category, that is senior citizen, 60 or above but less than 80 years. His total income is 11 lakhs. 11 lakhs means all these slabs are going to cover? Yes. Okay, fine. Let's check it out. First of all, let's check what is the slab rate as per Income Tax Act. I have just taken an abstract of the table that we had studied previously, that up to 2,50,000 it is 0, up to 3 lakh again 0. Now up to 3 lakh why it is 0? Because he is a senior citizen. So 3 lakh तक कोई भी tax pay नहीं करना होता है. If he is very senior citizen, up to 5 lakh there is no tax liability. So अगर 5 lakh भी हो तो what I will retain? Nil. Now in this particular case, it is senior citizen, so up to 3 lakh there is no tax liability. So you can see friends over here in this table, up to 2,50,000 and up to 3 lakhs, there is zero tax liability. Clear? Let's move ahead. Third is from 3 lakh to 5 lakh. How much is my tax liability? 5%. So 3 lakh to 5 lakh, kitna hoga? 2 lakh. 2 lakh ka 5%. Amount is coming to 10,000 rupees. Next is 5 lakh to 10 lakh. कितना हुआ totally? 5 lakhs. ये 5 lakhs पे कितना है tax liability? 20%. So I have done 20% of 5 lakh, which is coming to 1 lakh. And last is about 10 lakh. My income is 11 lakh. So from 10 lakh to 11 lakh, that is on additional 1 lakh, I need to pay 30%, which is coming to 30,000. Again, the same procedure. Total tax liability by adding all this point, it is coming to 1,40,000. No rebate because my total income is more than 5 lakh, so I cannot take the benefit of rebate. So my net tax liability is going to be 1,40,000 plus 4% of cess. Clear, friends? So the main purpose of mine was just to let you know how the income tax is being calculated in India. Till now, there is no sum which was being asked in university, but even if it comes up, I feel now you are handy enough to calculate the tax liability as per the format and examples I have explained over here. I would just like to request you to take a quick overview on this particular slide so that all the slabs are being covered in this example, so you can get a good idea of how to calculate the tax. If you are having any kind of doubts, you can post it up anytime. Fine. So just take a quick view on this particular slide. Well, friends, I hope you are clear with this example and totally clear with how to calculate income tax liability. So now let's quickly take 3 MCQ questions so that you can check how much have you retained from today's lecture. Rules are the same. I'll be showing one MCQ for 25 to 30 seconds. Till then, you need to mark the correct answer. After the completion of all the 3 MCQs, we are going to discuss the correct answers. So I hope you are ready with the same and your time starts now. Well, friends, I hope you are ready with your answers. So let's check them one by one. First question was, rebate under section 87 can be claimed if the total income is less than, I have just explained you that particular point, that if my total income is less than 5 lakh rupees, then I can claim the benefit of rebate under section 87A. So correct answer is option C, 5 lakhs. Second question is, total health and education cess is dash percent of income tax. We have just learned that whenever I am supposed to pay income tax, I need to calculate 4% of that particular amount as my cess. As a result of which correct answer is option C, 4. Last question was, what is the basic exemption limit as of now? Correct answer is it is 2,50,000. I explained you basic exemption limit means the income which is not taxable or which is not liable to tax as per the current slab rate. The amount is 2,50,000. As a result of which, what is the basic exemption limit as of now? Option A, 2,50,000. With this, friends, I declare officially this chapter completed. I, CA Pujan Kapadia, thank you all for patient listening, and I hope this system of study would be much more easier to you because you can retain the knowledge and can review the videos again and again so that you can get pure clarity on each and every topic. Friends, as I said you, don't limit yourself with just the bookish knowledge. Explore the topics as much as you can so that you can well implement the same in your practical life situation also. With this, I thank you all and hope to see you soon in my next lecture, under which we are going to start with a fresh topic. Thank you, friends.